Sunday. Side by side at the microphone, from the green light to the speed trap, Ray Garino and Joe D calls them as they sees them, and you better believe them. Hear relevant news, biased opinion, and outright nonsense regarding every aspect of automotive culture. Gasp with mechanical trickery never before broadcast over FCC-regulated airwaves. Thrilled to the explosive tension as Ray and Joe cuss each other down track, barrel roll across the finish line, laughing at certain disaster as they shake hands with the devil. All that and so much more at high noon this Sunday on the Motormouth Radio Hour. Call in and speak live with the Wizards of Speed and the Live Eat, Ray Garino and Joe D. Bring the whole family. Kids under 12 get in free every Sunday at noon on WHPC. Take the Hempstead Turnpike to the Meadowbrook Parkway and look for the no parking on the expressway and no express service on the Parkway sign. Go right on Highway 24 to Garden City. $2 all-day parking includes pit pass. Ski there!
Mother, tell your children not to walk my way. Tell your children not to hear my words.
All right, it may not be a father's song, but it is a mother's song. It could be the father speaking to the mother here on Motormouth Radio. Ray Guarino.
We get in there some way or another, us dads.
With Joe D sitting on the side here on Motormouth Radio, Long Island's only car talk show here on Father's Day, talking to you and going to have a lot of fun. And frivolity, give us a call if you can get in at 516-572-7440. Joe, let's kick it off and give it a kick.
A kick. Okay, so you want me to give it a kick. Well, one thing, I remember last week you were telling me how we had nothing going on.
Right.
All of a sudden, as in typical Motormouth fashion, we've been besieged. I guess a siege now constitutes two. But we've been besieged with guests this week.
Yes,
Isn't that so?
Yes, we have, I got an email, and a lot of guys probably got it as well. It was from Harbor Freight Tools, from the president, talking about this program, Harbor Freight Tools for Schools. So they got involved in a big way with this stuff, which is really cool. It reminded me of the AutoZeum, so I made sure that Mike got a copy of it.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And it ends up going to have a guest. Mr. Scott Springer is going to give us a call because he's one of the teachers who's involved in this. Mm-hmm. I didn't even have enough time to really research it to find out what was going on. So we'll let Scott clue us in.
Yeah, there's a bunch of grants in different denominations. Some of it go to the facility, to the school. Some of it go to the actual teacher. Yes, which I think is fantastic. And we'll let Scott flesh out the dirty details with that, I think.
And, of course, I have to thank Robin Kramer, because Robin is the person, the Harbor Freight
PR person?
Yeah, she's, I guess, the PR person for this program at Harbor Freight. So this could be, I'm hoping this will be our door in to get someone from Harbor Freight to come on the show, which we haven't had luck with in the past. So,
well, I guess if we don't embarrass ourselves too much, maybe they'll like us now this time.
Right.
Okay.
And on another note, later on in the show, we're going to give her a little time to wake up because, as she said, she's what did she? Let me get the correct terminology. I don't want to misquote anybody.
Yes, I have a couple of guesses, but I'm going to let you fill in the specifics over there.
Where did she go? Yes, I said I'd give her a little bit of time, and she says, good, because she's a little sleepy miss in the mornings. That would be Miss Elana Scherr from all sorts of stuff. She's with Roadkill magazine right now, but she'd been with Hot Rod for many years. She still has a column that goes in there, and we kind of coerced Elana to come on with us later on in the show.
One of the preeminent car girls out there.
Absolutely.
Yes, and she's a friend of the show.
Yeah.
She's actually come visit us.
Well, what Elana did was, she got in touch with Billy Velvet, our own Billy G, and said she had a guy that works for her, Mr. Pulvi Pulinen. Now, you know what? Let me get that right, because I had Bill gave me his name wrong, so... Pulvi.
Nice Italian boy, huh?
Yeah, he's actually from Australia.
Ah, good day, mate.
Right. So he was here on the East Coast on assignment, hooked up with Bill, did an interview in the city, and then Bill said, hey, he goes, I think Ray and Joe, the Motormouth guys, would be, like a persons of interest for you to come see.
Persons of interest. They've used that term with me so many times.
Joe, when I called Bill and he told me that, I said, Bill, stop. I said, hearing person of interest, my name, by your voice in any one sentence really makes me cringe.
Gets me a little nervous, yep.
He almost took a half a second, and then he realized what, and he laughed. So anyway, I spent the day on Thursday with Povey, and what a great guy. He's from Australia, transplanted over to L.A., works with Elana, or works for Elana, I thought, on Roadkill.
Okay.
And we were all over the place. I took him for a ride into Goat. We got a phone call now, so let's pick this up and say, hi, you're on with the Motor Mouths.
Hey, good morning, Ray. Good morning, Joe. It's the Bronx. Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day, Bronx.
Hey, I don't know if I'm a father. I don't have any kids I know about yet. You know, it's one of those deals.
We're always calling you a mother, so I figured let's give you a little bit of balance there.
The lead song.
You got that right. You know, you made a good point about Harbor Freight Tools, is that they're getting involved with education, getting tools, and then, as you know, Trump just signed into this apprenticeship program, bringing industry, and something like $300 million can be applied to it. When we were teaching, you know, way back in the early days, we had similar programs that the shop teachers went out, and they went to the different dealerships, and they got sponsored. So we had kids going to the dealerships, and the dealerships sponsoring with, what do you call it, trash cars. They donate parts, outdated tools, supplies. So with this new program and the way industry is going, as you know, nobody's going into the trades. All these kids want to push buttons and play video games until they're 40 years old. So this is a really good thing to get it out there, to try to get some of these young kids to get them into the trades. Not everybody's meant for college. So I hope it works. I really hope it works. I got my fingers crossed.
Yeah, they should acknowledge those of us who want to work with their hands. You know what
Absolutely.
I mean? Not everybody's going to be a keyboard warrior or a pencil pusher. Listen to me.
Exactly. You know, when it goes back to the guidance department, I used to call them the misguidance department.
Right.
Because I get all these kids, you know, I used to get comments like, did you go to college to be a teacher? I said, no, I'm working on my equivalency. Maybe next year I'll get it. You know, this kind of nonsense. They don't realize that when somebody goes to a trade school as opposed to college, let's say they're taking English, so to get 3 credits, they have to take 3 hours of class during a week. You go to trade school, to get 3 credits, you're putting in 30, 40 hours per week to learn that trade because, especially nowadays, as you know, it is so complex to try to diagnose what's going wrong with these new vehicles. And they just don't get it, that you have to be above average now to be an auto technician. Do you agree with that or not?
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely, you do have to know how to read, and you do have to have critical thinking skills. And also, it's also good to know which end of the tool to hold without to not put your eye out when you try that.
Yeah.
Right, what's the tool, right? Which end of the hammer to use?
Right.
Thing. And they just don't get it. These people just don't get it because they're taking all critical thinking out. It's no more discussions in class. I was back in, last year when I was back in New York, I went back to my old high school there, and I had the opportunity to sit in some of these classes with these young teachers, you know, these 22, 25-year-old teachers. They're clueless. I mean, they're absolutely clueless. And the kids are all sitting there. Everyone had a phone on their desk. Half of them you could see deer in the headlight, and the other half were just like their eyes are rolling around their head, like what's going on. Then I went down to the shop down at Long Beach High School, and this kid down there they hired, Jimmy Johnson, he's an old-timer like us. He started when playing with cars and trucks when he was in diapers, and he's a fabricator, he's a builder, he's got his credentials. And he actually got these kids, even though the classes were small, he actually got them motivated into doing and building projects, which is rare nowadays. Because you see they're dropping all the shops, all the classes, right? Because guidance department says, oh, no, you work with your hands, right? You're sub-subject, right? You want those early Neanderthals, you know, bang rocks together. I'll fix your car, give me $2, that kind of attitude.
If you keep tuned into this, Bronk, I think you'll see that this Harbor Freight program goes way beyond that, and that's actually the impetus of the cash prizes. They're trying to encourage that, and they're doing it by putting money on the line.
That's it, and that's what Trump just did with the apprenticeship program.
Right.
He just signed the bill last week, $300 million for apprenticeship programs throughout the country.
Beautiful.
Right, and that's what we need. We got to get more people into the trades because you can't get a good tradesman to come in and fix something. And then a lot of times, I know especially out here, I do more corrective maintenance than preventive maintenance.
We were just talking about that before the show.
I got to fix what they did and try to figure out what the hell did they do, that kind of thing. You know, and I'm getting too old for this. You know, I'm pushing 70. I don't like crawling around under dashboards anymore.
I'll tell you what else you have to do. You're going to have to let you go because we have that guest Scott calling in about 10 minutes after the hour, which is about 30 seconds away.
Right.
Okay, well, go. We have a happy Father's Day. I just want to open my big mouth as usual. Have a great week, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
Thanks, Bronk.
You got it, Bronk.
Take care, guys.
Bye-bye.
Always good to hear from the Bronk.
Mission accomplished.
Yes, he always has his slant on things.
He does.
One of these days, we're going to have to give them like a level. Maybe.
Oh, yeah, to straighten out the slant, you think?
Yeah, right, because it must be tough walking like that.
Yeah.
Flashing again.
Let's try
Let's
it again.
See who this is.
Let's go back on the line and say hi. You're on the Motor Mouths, Ray and Joe.
Hey, Ray. Scott in Denver, Colorado.
Hey, Scott, how are you? We
well.
did a little pre-sell. Of course, you are a member of the Harbor Freight Tools for Schools team, and we're hoping you're going to tell us all about that great program.
Sure. So we are rolling out a teacher prize that goes live tomorrow, I think noon Pacific time, midday. And basically, we are offering a teacher prize competition for teachers to highlight their outstanding trades program. So whether they're construction teacher, auto, welding, manufacturing, electrical, plumbing, that sort of thing, things of the trades, things for teachers that teach kids to do things with their hands in careers and trade areas.
Right.
So anyway, the prize opens tomorrow, and the application is open for a month. The deadline for teachers to apply would be July 25th, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
No, July 24th, excuse me. And it's a pretty straightforward application. The teacher's about 6 questions. They talk about their program. They talk about how it exposes kids to the trades, career pathways, how they teach, passion for the trades, safety, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So what will happen is we will narrow down, it's open nationwide, and we'll narrow down the applicants to 50, probably in early August. And then those 50 will go through another round, and we'll narrow that down to 10.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's end of September, early October. And then those 10 are all eligible for prize money, not only for their school, but for themselves. So the top 3 winners will receive $100,000 each. $70,000 goes to their program at their school, and these are high school teachers, I should clarify. And then $30,000 is a cash prize for the teacher. And the second 7 winners will receive $30,000 each, $20,000 for the school, and $10,000 for them. So we're really excited to offer this opportunity to our trades teachers and really get the word out, the importance of trades and teaching and growing our economy.
Yeah. Scott, I got an email about this from Eric, the president of Harbor Freight. I know he didn't send it to me directly, but I assume it went to customers, Harbor Freight customers. Do you know if that's correct or what their targeting was?
Sure. So he did. He emailed his customer base, which many of his customers are teachers as well.
Right.
Not all, obviously. It's going out to what we call career and technical education directors in every state in the nation. So we're just getting the word out as broadly as we can. But Eric, spent a day with Eric about a year and a half ago, and Eric is the founder and CEO of Harbor Freight Tools. And, he told us his story, and basically he told us what an impact his woodshop class made to him as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And basically that was the reason he went to school, and he wants to give back. So one of the outcomes of this focus group was to really elevate the perception of trades teachers and trade programs, and this is one way we're going to do it.
Right. I think everybody I know, including myself, can recall the name of their high school shop teacher, or at least one of them, because some schools, my school had 4 different shops.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, that's the impact that these guys had on us when we were young and impressionable.
Yep, they sure did. And then if you kind of looked over the last 20 years or so, a lot of those programs nationwide are being cut.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're expensive to run and that sort of thing. So the opportunities just aren't there. As
our previous caller was just mentioning that.
So.
I can even. Joe just said our previous caller was talking about that specifically, and just to jump back a minute, I remember my auto shop teacher was Mr. Mancuso. I even know Chris's shop teacher's name. Our ex co-host here, it was Mr. Palmiotti. I mean, how's that for? I can even remember other guys' shop teachers, and I wasn't in his school.
That's pretty good.
And my friend Tom, who went to East Rockaway, it was Frank Saldino. Mr. Saldino was his auto shop teacher. So that's
goes to show you what kind of impression they make.
At least on me, yeah.
Yeah.
And they throw stuff like tools, so they do make a real impression.
So that's what that crease is right above the hairline there.
Yeah, that dent. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
I always thought that was where the plate was from when the clutch let go.
No, that was something. That was different. So, Scott,